Welcome back to a new episode here in SUALVI. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can do a cool, quick title animation, sort of like jumpy title. I think these became popular in like advertising and stuff, in which like you needed to catch attention of people, so like showing a bunch of text. So yeah, I was building something like this for the background of my website, and then I decided, well, maybe I could do a cool video about this, showing them the technique or how you would go about doing this kind of effect. It's a little bit like detail-y and stuff, but yeah, let's just jump right into it. So let's get started. So right here in DaVinci Resolve, the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to create a new fusion composition, and the duration should be whatever duration you want it to be. So let me just go and make it, let's say 5 seconds. So it's gonna be here 0 like that. Okay, frame rate that. Okay, so we're gonna go into our fusion composition, and inside fusion, the first thing that we want to do is, well, the first thing you need to do is know what your text is going to be. So we're gonna set up our background, and we're gonna make it a color for this time, so it's gonna be red. And then we're gonna create a new merge node. You can create a bunch of different merge nodes if you want. Well, actually, let's do it that way so we are a bit more organized. And yeah, so we're gonna create a text first. So let's say our text file, it's gonna say that is what's gonna be our actual text. So just as a reference and to remember, I'm gonna put it right here on the side a little bit like that. I'm gonna put it up here just so I remember our text. So on our first node, we're gonna create a text node that we have here, and we're gonna connect it, and that one is gonna be keep. And you gotta remember that each of these could be a different font if you want. So for this side, we're gonna use this next art font. We're gonna make it big, and we're gonna animate this first one. So we're gonna animate the entrance, and for this, the entrance is just gonna be it coming from the side. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna create the keyframe, and then 15, so like that, 10 frames of animation coming in, and it's gonna come from the left like that. Then we can also go to the spline editor right away already, and we're gonna select everything pressing Ctrl A, and then press F, and then press T, and then we can ease out. So it's gonna come in a little bit faster and then slow down like that. We're not adding motion blur yet, but at the end, that's what you want to do at the end of your animation, or like of the when you're working. Okay, then what you want to do is the next text. You can add it either here or just create a new one. So we're gonna create a new one just for this tutorial's sake. Keep, and this one's gonna be creating, and don't worry about it being like that right now. We're gonna make it big also, and we're gonna select a different type of font. So it's gonna be EXO font for this one. Let's see, and we're gonna make it black like that. Okay, and we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. So how do we animate this thing? We can animate the entrance and make it end here. And so for animating these, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and make sure where the last frame is here, 15. And you don't want to leave it there for too long. So we're gonna start this one at 17. And we're gonna go to the position, create the first keyframe, which is where it's gonna end, just as a guideline. Then we're gonna go a few more, so like 26 frame could be. And we're gonna create the next ending frame. We're gonna go back, and then we're gonna bring this one from the bottom, and it's basically gonna be hitting this one. So what we don't want to do then is we're gonna go to the back to this one, and we're gonna find like maybe a keyframe before that. Okay, here, and we're gonna create a position keyframe for these and a size keyframe for these, and then we're gonna make sure that these ends at the same time that these gets all the way there. So we're gonna go to that keyframe, and we're gonna make it smaller first of all, and then we're gonna bring it back like that. Okay, so then let's look how that looks like that. And then one cool thing that you can do is rotate it. And the way that I first have it in a few of them, I can mix them in the same merge node, is because if I edit the merge node, then it will affect both of them. So if we do this, let me just go and connect this one here. Let me get rid of it and connect these texts to this node Now that we have both of them doing the animation, when we do the next text node, we can simply animate this merge node, because you're gonna make sure that when you animate a merge node, it's only the foreground is what's gonna be animated here when you change these settings. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new text again, and then we're gonna write awesome. This one, it's a little bit too big, so we're gonna make it like that. Awesome. Okay, that's awesome. And what we can do is we're gonna animate the rotation of these two things. Oops. We're gonna animate the rotation, so we're gonna start the rotation right here, and we're gonna go here to the angle and create a keyframe. And you can also even change the position a little bit. So for that, and the size, we're gonna do a full-on adjustment right here, and then we're gonna go a few frames, let's say 35, and create the ending ones. And on these ones, we're gonna change the angle to be 90 degrees, so we can just write 90. I'm gonna make it really small, and you also want to change the position of these to the side of our wording, so then we can go back to our text. Okay, so then when we have that animation, I had to delete that because for some reason it didn't want to work. So we're gonna write awesome, and we're gonna find a font that actually fits within those within that height. So we're gonna use Lato or Lato, I don't know how you call that, and we could, in this case, people don't really like when text is stretched out, so it depends, and it depends of if it actually is able to work. If it works, we can also adjust the tracking a little bit. So okay, we're gonna change the position and try to make sure that it fits somehow within, but I don't like that the A is a little bit too it's diagonal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit the angle of these again. We're gonna try to adjust it so it's sort of right matching the angle of the A, and then we have this next one that we are pretty much ready to roll with. Oh, I forgot, I have to reanimate this one, I'm sorry. So we're gonna start the animation of this one, and this one is gonna come from this side. So we're gonna go to the position, create the keyframes like that, and we're gonna come from this side. So if we look at it, it's sort of like that. And then the next thing that we can also do is the stuff part. So we're gonna add a new keyframe for that. And since I want to animate this whole thing together again, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm gonna connect this merge node right here, and I'm gonna connect this text to this one, and then make it like that. So now I can animate the whole thing using this merge node again. So we're gonna select everything so we can see where the last keyframe ended, and right here we're gonna create our last text node. It's gonna be the word stuff, and I'm gonna make it bigger, and we're gonna use the oxygen font. Okay, I like that one. And we're gonna create a position keyframe for this one, and it doesn't have to be all the way in the middle, but it could be. It's all up to you, right? We're gonna create the positions and the size for these keyframes, and then gonna go ahead a few more keyframes, and then here we're gonna go make it come from below, and right as it's about to hit, we're gonna create the keyframe for this frame. So maybe right here, and we're gonna create the size and position keyframes for these section. So let's see where the end is. The animation ends right there, so we're gonna make it bigger here and make it really small, sort of from this side. So let's look at the whole thing. Oh, I forgot to add the smoothness to all of these other ones. So let's just go and select everything. Then we can select all these different things that have a keyframe set up on them. We're gonna select Ctrl A, and we're gonna press F, and that's gonna make everything go a little bit more smoothly. And then that's how we have our animation, the intro. Then the next thing we can do is we can add motion blur to all of our text nodes and anything that has movement. So all these merge nodes also have movement, so we have to use motion blur in them. I like to lower it down a little bit. Okay, let's go. It's this one does have movement also, so we're gonna add so I'm adding the motion blur to all of our text nodes, and this is how it looks like after we add the motion blur. If it's too much, we can readjust the motion blur if you don't like it too much, and also you can adjust the splines. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. Let's get rid of this create awesome stuff already, and then we can put this on our timeline. So we can go ahead and then just put this into our timeline, and we are pretty much ready. So this video was a little bit sort of slow paced because it required me to think a bunch of things through. Sorry if I was a little bit slow, bear with me this time. And yeah, so I'm just testing a different camera again. I kind of don't like the blurriness a little bit, so I'm filming per part. So I already have the intro and I was looking into it, so I didn't like the noise. But yeah, I'm just putting it out there either way, because yeah, you gotta put stuff out there, and then over time things get better. So you shouldn't worry if you just have a phone. Just start working and filming with your phone. And talking about that, I'm also thinking about creating a Skillshare course where I'm just gonna go all over my process of how I come up with ideas and how you could use all the things that I've learned with over like 100 videos uploaded. And yeah, so Skillshare I think has like free courses too. I'm not sure how all that thing works yet, but I'm looking into it, and I will let you know if I learn about how all of that works. And yeah, without further ado, let me know if you like this video and if you want me to make some more like detailed and advanced version of this one. This one was a little bit simpler stuff. You can add mask and make text come out of the other text if you want, but it's all about how much time you got to spend and to think about ideas of what you can do and come out creatively. So yeah, anyways, so without further ado, thanks for watching once again, and I hope to see you in the next video here in SUALVI.